Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Starting in just a few seconds, or give me a solid minute or so. If you hear me huffing and puffing in the background here, I'm just trying to set some stuff up, and but we'll be there quick soon. everybody. We are live. Wrong mic, one second. All right, there we go. Now we got the right mic selected. Welcome in, everybody. My name is Andrew. This is Rocket Future. We have live views of Flight 7 Starship stacked right in front of us. We'll talk a little bit more about Starship here in a second. So let's see. We have some stuff to run down and to talk about regarding updates. On launch day, I think we have some probable spam here in the chat. But yeah, let's jump in front. And then we'll get right into it. We're on the side here, right off the side of Boca Chica Beach. Here. How does it sound? Does it sound really bad? Testing. Sorry, give me a couple more seconds. Okay, so I know what's up with the mic, but that's okay. We'll make one quick adjustment and then we'll get started here. I'm just going to change where our main camera is. Bear with me. All right, that should fix it. All right, so we're gonna do things a little bit differently here. I'm gonna change up because of where my mic receiver is. I wasn't able to do the shot that I want because we don't have a USB extension cable out here today. But that's a good test. We wanted to test everything that we're gonna be using on our launch day stream next week here. So I've already written down to make sure that we have the USB extension we need, so we don't have a similar issue on launch day. We're running the stream out of the Jeep here today, but we wouldn't have this issue on launch day. I'll bring the USB cable just in case, but we're not going to be running it out of the Jeep on launch day. But anyway, let me give you views of the rocket again, then we'll get started. I'll put a little picture-in-picture here. All right, that'll work. So yeah, as you can see, the vehicle is fully stacked again. So let's rewind a little bit. First of all, let's talk about why we're out here today. Appreciate it, man. Thank you. And then we'll go from there. So, Flight 7 of Starship largest, most powerful rocket of all time, fully reusable rocket someday. Not quite yet, but we're making progress there. This is going to be the 7th fully integrated, full stack flight of the vehicle. And we did expect to potentially see a launch as early as this past Saturday. But things have shifted. We then shifted to Monday, and now things are looking like probably Wednesday, but it is still not 100% confirmed. But based on our understanding right now, we are planning to see this launch on Wednesday. So they destacked a couple days ago. They checked some stuff up on the nose cone on the ship, and they did some checks on the booster as well. Not exactly sure what they were doing, but the good news is it's fully stacked again. I think the vehicle is probably in a ready state for flight. However, the only thing that we need to keep an eye out is weather. Weather on Wednesday so far looks medium. It doesn't look great. It doesn't look terrible. It probably looks like it is within criteria for launch based on my understanding, but we're just going to have to wait and see how the weather evolves over the next couple days to make sure that wind isn't an issue. And unfortunately, the biggest concern for me right now on Wednesday is visibility and viewing, which, of course, SpaceX isn't even concerned with. They have so much cameras and data that they'll see it regardless of what happens. Detroit Mission Control is in the house. Welcome in, Detroit. It's good to see you. As you can see, my commentary camera here today, the camera that I'm using for my face is not... It's overexposed in the sky, and it doesn't look as good as it usually does. And that is because we unfortunately had a major failure on our primary camera. So right now I'm using the secondary camera that I usually use for commentary and face cam stuff as our primary camera, and then I'm just using a webcam right now for the commentary camera. So we do have another camera we're going to try for on Wednesday, so hopefully we'll get a little bit better than what we're working with now, but it's okay. We'll get that primary camera fixed for Launch 8 and any other events, but it might take a week or 2 or 3 to send the camera out, get it repaired, and sent back. But this is what we're working with for here today. Why was the launch delayed? That's a really good question, Detroit. I'm actually not positive. Again, there maybe SpaceX has made some comments about it, but not that I've seen. So if they have, please feel free to let me know. But again, they did destack the vehicle and looked at some stuff on the ship and the booster. So I don't know if maybe they just had a few last-minute checks that they wanted to complete. But it also could have been weather-related. I haven't been keeping an eye on upper-level winds and wind shear for Monday. It's really, really hard to know. But if anybody did hear any official information on why it was delayed, please feel free to put that in chat and let me know. Free beer for anyone that comes up to Andrew and asks. I had started actually taking some with me, but I don't have any on me today. But if you catch me on Wednesday at Isablanca Park, I'll see what I can do. Maybe I'll bring something. Maybe I'll bring something for you. Beautiful shot down here at Boca Chica Beach, right outside of Boca Chica Beach, where the launch pad is here for SpaceX's Starship vehicle. We're going to talk a little bit about what is different for this launch in a couple minutes. But now that we're set up and we're moving, this is good. I'll zoom into the ship while we're talking about it, and yeah, let's do that. Let me move that over a little. All right, what we're looking at there is Starship. This is the first ever version 2 Starship to fly. Hopefully it'll fly on Wednesday. So what is different about version 2? A lot of things. First of all, as you may or may not be able to tell, depending on how familiar you are with looking at pictures and videos of Starship. It's a little bit taller. V2, the second stage up at top that has the black heat shield tiles that we're looking at. That is stage 2. That is Starship, and it is 1 ring taller. The way they build these things is they make all the rings and then they stack the rings, so it's taller. And I think SpaceX has officially confirmed that it's about 25% increase in propulsion, uh, what not propulsion, fuel. Yeah, it's 25% more capacity for propellant is the word I was trying to think of. Fuel and propellant. So that's going to be able to increase the, I guess, not specific impulse, but it's going to be able to increase the capabilities of Starship to go further into orbits and all that stuff, and just allow it to have more fuel to do more work, which is great. Also, the flaps, top flaps, hard to tell from this angle, but actually, I was gonna say hard to tell from this angle that they actually moved those top flaps forward towards the front of the vehicle, or not the front, but the belly of the vehicle. But visually, I think I can personally tell, but that has been changed to allow better re-entry thermals on those flaps, on those ailerons, as we used to call them. I don't think many people do anymore. So if you watch any of the recent flights, we saw some burn through on those forward flaps. So some of that plasma that builds up on re-entry, that actually was kind of coming in through the flaps there and through where it hinges on the vehicle. But they hope that this will help solve that issue. So that is a big change. There's some other stuff, like I believe the raceways that move the fuel and everything up and down the vehicle. Or in electrical, all sorts of stuff. I think they said they're like vacuum insulated now. So I think that's a change with version 2. Some changes to the heat shield tile layout and design. There's some heat shield tiles missing on purpose for some testing. And I believe if I understand correctly, there's one heat shield tile area that's actually going to be cooled actively via, I don't know, fuel dispersion. I don't know. It's interesting. They're testing a lot of interesting stuff. Also, new on this flight, they are going to try to deploy, 10 fake Starlink version 3 satellites. So if everything goes well, we'll see that payload door open, and we'll see those mock satellites get distributed, which is really cool. We saw a failure the last time they tried to use that PEZ door, as we like to call it. That's the little flap on the side of the vehicle that opens out for the satellites to get ejected out. We saw problems with that last time, so I'm really excited to see what they do with that this time. They're doing, I think, an quote-unquote in-orbit light. Again, they're not going to complete a full orbit during Flight 7, but they're going to test lighting an engine. So yeah, all sorts of different stuff happening with version 7. So if anybody has any questions, please feel free to drop those in the chat. I'm realizing we got some overlays going on the stream. Let me fix that for you. There you go. That's fixed now. Okay, so in addition to getting out here and just kind of giving you guys an update, I'm also testing some changes to our stream. There's hardware changes, but also software changes that I'm testing right now. So that was the big thing for me to get out here and just to test these things out and make sure that they're working. So after the stream, I'll go home, I'll check everything out, make sure it all works correctly. But if this does, it should be more reliable. The stream shouldn't end and have new stream started if I lose connectivity for a brief moment in time. Previously, if I had a little bit of a connectivity blip, my X stream and my Facebook stream would stop, and it would reinitiate a brand new stream. So everybody would have to find the new stream. I think that issue is resolved, but again, today is for testing, so we'll find out. So I'm just happy to be out here, happy to see Starship fully stacked, and happy to kind of work the bugs out as we're doing. Usually, we do this a day or two sometimes before launch just to make sure everything's working right and we can fix any last minute bugs ahead of launch. So far so good. Only concern is our USB extension cord and our camera, which we'll make some changes to before Wednesday, hopefully, to give a better quality face cam here. Let me check in to make sure the X stream is live and the Facebook stream is live. Let me do that right now. I'll give you a full view of Starship here while I'm working on it. All right, looks good. We're live on YouTube. We are live on X. We are live on Facebook. And I believe we are live on Twitch and Kick as well. So if anybody is watching on all those platforms, welcome in. I should be able to see the chat from most of those platforms. So if you have any questions or anything, let me know. But the test is going well so far here for today. Again, our primary camera, which is currently has live views of the rocket on the left-hand side of the screen, is actually our backup camera. So quality is not as good as we usually like to give you. Exposure is actually pretty hard right now. The sun is directly behind the rocket. So that since we have our backup camera and not our primary camera, it's not as full featured, and yeah, it's a little bit harder to work with things like exposure. But on Wednesday, hopefully we'll have a better solution set up for you. We're gonna do our best for that. Can't help the hardware failures. Sometimes they happen. Camera failures, they happen. So we just got to do the best we can with what we have available to us between now and launch day. I'm going to try to see if I can find a creative way to get us a really good camera for Wednesday. And then after that, I just got to get it fixed, so we'll be good for Flight 8. Okay, so let's talk a little bit more about what we should expect on Wednesday. I do believe that the advertised window for Wednesday, according to the SpaceX website, the launch window would start at 4 p.m. Central Time. So that means if everything goes perfectly according to plan, the earliest they can launch on Wednesday would be 4 p.m. Central Time. So that's what they're going to try for. That's what they're going to target. So multiple hours ahead of time, I think probably 9 a.m. Central Time or so, they'll close down this road. They'll clear the pad. They'll make sure everybody is away from the area. They'll start spinning up all the equipment on the ground support. So ground support equipment, we're talking about all of the infrastructure that is used for the fuel and propellant, so the methane, liquid oxygen, and any other gases and resources they use during fuel up. So we'll see all that stuff start to happen. We'll start to see the vapors indicate that the ground support equipment is spooling up. Eventually, we'll start to see them cool down the OLM, the launch pad, and also the lines that go up to the Starship on the tower. So we'll see some indications of that on Wednesday, probably a couple hours before launch. And then at around an hour to go from launch, or give or take a few minutes, we'll actually start to see the fuel load started. So at around 3 p.m. Central Time on Wednesday, things are going to start getting exciting. We'll start to see indications that they're about to start fueling. They'll fuel this thing up, and then they'll ship it. As long as weather criteria is met, as long as range criteria is met, which means nobody in the launch danger area on ground and out at sea, then they're gonna send this thing, and it'll be the first ever Starship version 2 launch ever. So really, really cool milestone. And another exciting thing that we do expect to see on Wednesday, this is very important, is we hope to see that booster come back and get caught by the chopsticks. So let's actually talk about that with the view that we have here a little bit. I'm going to zoom in a little bit first. Again, I know the exposure is kind of tough right now, y'all. Sorry about that, but we're going to work with it. Okay, so Starship is up top. You can see those bottom flaps, and then you see those grid fins under the flaps. So where the stainless steel meets the black material, the whole stainless steel portion is the booster. So that's going to deliver Starship at its highest point of flight. So booster and Starship fly together. Booster and Starship separate. And then the booster comes back and is going to get caught by the chopsticks. And those chopsticks are what you see at the top of the screen, towards the top of the ship. So those chopsticks will actually come in and close as the booster is hovering right in front of the tower. So that's actually insane. Flight 5, they were able to successfully catch the first Super Heavy booster on its first attempt. Flight 6, they did an offshore divert, meaning they did not try to catch the booster. On Flight 6, they just sent it out to the Gulf. Flight 7, they do hope to catch the booster, but they will have to check on the health of the vehicle before trying to bring it back. So after Super Heavy, the first stage, the stainless steel portion, after that delivers Starship to its highest piece of flight path, they will separate, and then SpaceX will look at all of the data. The flight computers itself will look at all the data, how the vehicle health looks like it's doing. If all the engines look good, if everything looks like it's healthy, they'll start shipping the booster back here. If at any point they need to abort, they'll send the booster out to the Gulf. But otherwise, we should see that thing come in and try to get caught by those chopsticks. And that is that I saw the catch online. I was at a wedding. I did not see the catch in person, but sitting here looking at the booster in person, I'm gonna zoom out for y'all. Seeing the booster in person and imagining it come back and get caught by the chopsticks, as if you could ever do that right up close and personal and watch it from here. I just can't imagine what that would look like from up close. It's hard to believe that it's real, but it is. It's actually insanity. It's really cool. Detroit is an OG here. Oh yeah, Nightbot, nice. So things are pretty busy down here on Highway 4. Again, we're in South Texas, we're near Brownsville. We're near South Padre Island, and this is the Starbase facility where they launch the Starship vehicles. The build site is about a mile. It's a mile or two up the road. We're on the southern tip of Texas. So this is as far south as you can get in Texas on the Gulf Coast. The border with Mexico is just about 2 miles up Boca Chica Beach, that direction, south from here. So really, really cool stuff. Interesting location, unique location. But we're happy that it's here. We're excited that it's here, and we're excited to see Flight 7, hopefully as soon as Wednesday, unless anything else changes. Let me check in on something here. Let me actually do it on the computer. It's going to be easier, so I'm going to go full screen on the rocket for a moment. Let me frame you for a minute while I look into something here. No, that's not what I want. Okay. All right. So, that's where we're at. That's the current status of everything. So, let me know if you have any questions. Again, if you're just tuning in for the first time, my name is Andrew. This is Rocket Future. We're gonna have coverage on launch day where we provide live views of the rocket and the launch, and hopefully the booster catch, including interviews of people in the crowd reactions. We're gonna try to bring you all of the launch energy and excitement to your living room or wherever you're watching us. So, with that said, I am going to leave the stream up here for a few minutes, or I'm going to leave the stream up for, definitely at least a few minutes. I'm going to kind of run around, take some pictures, get some shots of ship and booster. I'll come provide another update here in a few minutes, but for now, I'll just leave you with live views of the booster and Starship. If you have any further questions, please put those in the chat, and I'll be back in probably like 5 minutes or so to provide a little bit more commentary before we wrap things up today. So thank you so much. check. All right. Thanks for this test stream, Andrew. Always glad to see that you're working on your Rocket Future content. No problem. HW is in chat. HW Waves, good to see you. Welcome in. Okay, so this is where we're at. If anybody has any questions, I'm going to give you about 30 seconds. But if you have any questions about what we're going to see here over the course of the next few days, you could rewind the stream and listen to a little bit of our commentary on what we're expecting on Wednesday, what changes we've seen with this new V2 Starship, and all of that good stuff. So I'm going to hang out for just another 30 seconds or so, see if any of y'all have any questions, and if not, we're going to break things down, and I'm going to go back, and we'll keep preparing for launch here, hopefully on Wednesday. So, yeah, let me know if you have any questions before we wrap stream. All right. We're going to wrap things up. So thank you, everybody, for joining. My name is Andrew. This is Rocket Future here at Boca Chica Beach, right outside of Boca Chica Beach, on Highway 4, where SpaceX's Starbase launch facility is. We expect to see Starship Flight 7 take off from here probably on Wednesday. That's our current best guess and best information. So tune in. Don't forget to subscribe, like, all that good stuff. And turn on notifications so you can be aware of when we go live on Wednesday. Should be around 4 p.m. Central Time launch, which means we'll probably go live somewhere between 2 and 3 Central Time. So we'll see you then. Enjoy. Again, my name is Andrew. This is Rocket Future. We'll see you next time, and peace out.